This is the new PXG Bat Attack Zero Torque putter, and it is better than my LAB putters. And I've got the numbers to prove it. Let me show you what I mean. Now already, 10 seconds into this video, I know there are people typing, "No, LAB is the best, you don't do it." Let's get a few things straight before we dive into this review. One, I don't think there is such a thing as a best putter. A putter is the most personal club in the bag. Some people are going to love new zero torque putters. Some people are going to use a 30-year-old Scotty Cameron and be perfectly happy. All of the best golfers in the world for decades have used just regular old standard putters and been just fine, and realistically are still going to putt much better than you regardless of which fancy new putter you use. So that's the first thing we need to address. The second thing we need to address is over the last year or so, LAB putters have been going absolutely nuts. I don't think I have received more positive comments over a golf product than I have about the different LAB putters. So me personally, I've got a DF3 and a Mezz 1. I did a comparison video a few months back where I actually put these to the test and figured out using my putter system that the Mezz 1 was better for my putting stroke. So this is what I have been using, and overall, I've been pretty happy with it. I haven't seen maybe the dramatic results that I was maybe hoping to or expecting to, but overall, it's felt really good, and any issues I have with it, I think are mostly due to my own personal incompetencies or lack of playing. But with all that out there, over the last 6 weeks or so, I have played 10 rounds of golf. The first 5 I played with were with this, the Mezz 1. The second 5 I played were with this, the PXG. And the results honestly surprised me. It's like I have a hard time doing this review because I know there's going to be so much hate and flames because everybody loves to gush about the LAB putters, and for whatever reason, PXG putters, it's not the thing anymore. Now, I know there's going to be a ton of people who are just saying, oh, the PXG is just a LAB knockoff. It's not actually zero torque, da da da. I'm not going to argue that. I don't know, I'm not a technical guy. I don't know if this is actual zero torque or not. So I'm going to let other testers figure out which one is actually zero torque, which one is actually better. I'm just going to give you my real world experience with both of these putters, and I'm going to show you my strokes gained statistics for my last 10 rounds to just help illustrate my thoughts on these two clubs. All right, so let's talk first impressions of the PXG putter. First off, it came with this head cover, which is very nice. Really supple leather, really good. That's a lot of PXG logos. And if you know me, I don't want a whole bunch of logos. Yeah, brands are cool and everything, but I just make it subtle. LAB, even though this is a pretty big logo, the LAB, that looks better to me. But I'm just saying. So already I was a little skeptical. PXG is definitely a more in-your-face brand, although LAB is getting pretty in-your-face with their marketing as well. So these are two of the newer golf companies out there that are vying for your attention, and they're both doing it in, pretty in-your-face ways, let's say. But the club itself, I actually think looks really good. It's actually got a very similar look to the Mezz 1 in the sense that it's all blacked out. It's a mid-mallet style, which I've discovered I really like this style. This is kind of what feels the best for me. It's called the Bat Attack, so it's got some of these bat wing things going. And overall, I just think it looks really nice. I will say maybe the bottom, the big PXG logo, the Bat Attack, that could be a little more subtle for me. But the all black motif, the mid-mallet, the alignment line, and the alignment dot, I really like. And overall, I think it's a good looking putter. Does it look as good as the LAB? Well, I think that depends on who you are. The LAB is one of the craziest, most futuristic putters I've ever seen, and it is sharp. This thing's a weapon. So again, I personally love the way the Mezz 1 looks. For others, it may be a little too avant-garde, shall we say, but I think really beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Both of these, I think, are good-looking putters. Okay, getting out on the course with the PXG. My first round with this was at Brasada Ranch a couple weeks ago. We've got a video coming up about that experience, and I'll link to that below when it goes live. And overall, even just after a few putts, I loved the feel. It's definitely a softer feel. It's a little mushier, if you will. It has a pretty muted sound. And so for me, what I found with other putters is some that don't feel as soft, I have a tougher time with distance control. That has been my major issue with both of the LAB putters, specifically the DF3. Definitely has gotten a lot better with the Mezz 1, but I have a tough time controlling distance. And since my approach game isn't the best, often I'll have a lot of 30, 40, 50 foot putts. And if my lag putting isn't on point, that is going to lead to a lot of 3 putts. So for me personally, more than the zero torque benefits of really being able to line up, putts 10 feet and in and make those, I want to hit good lag lag putts that are going to minimize my chances of making 3-putts. For as much as I love 1-putting, I hate 3-putting more. So that's kind of where my golf game is at. And so for me, from the beginning, the softer feel of the PXG definitely helped me with lag putts over both of the LABs. And so that was something that I was really excited about. As I played my first real round with the PXG, the numbers didn't end up really being anything to write home about. While my lag putts did improve, I still had 37 putts on that round, and I lost 1.7 strokes compared to the average 10 handicap, which is where I am at. In fairness, it was my first round with the club, and I was shooting a whole vlog for a future video, so I was a little sidetracked. I wasn't necessarily spending as much time on my putts as I should, but I do figure that's worth mentioning. Now, before I tell you about the next 4 rounds with the PXG, let's talk about what my previous rounds looked like with the Mezz 1. Again, 2 of these rounds were when I was in Vietnam, so there was a lot going on. I was filming a whole bunch of stuff, so it may not have been the best example of my putting prowess, but that's just kind of me all the time. There's always a lot going on, so I think that my experience using both of these were under pretty similar conditions. So across those 5 rounds with the Mezz, my experience with one outlier were generally pretty simple. So let's take a look at this. I had 0.6 strokes gained and 36 putts, 0.6 strokes gained, 37 putts, 0.8 strokes lost, 37 putts, 6.1 strokes lost, 37 putts, and 0.8 strokes gained, 37 putts. So if you throw off that one weird outlier, which was just a very off day for me, then with the Mezz, I've been averaging 0.3 strokes gained compared to a 10 handicap over my last 5 rounds with that club. 0.3 strokes gained, like that's fine, but there's nothing outstanding about that. 36, 37 putts around, like that's not that good. So I was curious to see if we would be able to do better with the PXG. As I mentioned, that first round at Brasada, 1.7 strokes lost in 37 putts. Nothing to write home about. Not great. And in fact, it was worse than what I was getting with the Mezz over those previous 5 rounds. But then this happened. These are the numbers over the next 4 rounds with the PXG. 2.8 strokes gained, 34 putts. 1.5 strokes gained, 32 putts. 2.2 strokes gained, 32 putts. 4.5 strokes gained, 32 putts. On an average round, I am having 4 to 5 fewer putts than I was with the LAB. This has absolutely shocked me. If you average out those 5 rounds, I'm at 1.86 strokes gained with the PXG. If you throw out that one outlier of the first round I had with it, I'm at nearly 3 strokes gained with the PXG over the LAB. Now, I want to make clear, I do not have a dog in this fight. I do not care. Neither of these companies pay me any money. There's no sponsorships here. All I care about is if I go out and use it, which product is going to work best. And I gotta say, one, the numbers don't lie, but more importantly than that, like I said, putting is a feel thing. Putting is a personal thing. And over especially the last 2 rounds with the PXG, I have never, and I mean this seriously, I have never felt more confident with a putter in my hand. It's a really forgiving putter, so even on those long lag putts, if I mishit it or I'm not right on my intended line, I'm still having far fewer really dramatic misses than what I've had previously. But also, now I'm getting more familiar with it, I'm also having more confidence in my 10-foot and in putts. And this is where the LAB and that zero torque element really shines. So if you don't know what zero torque is, we should have addressed this, but basically it's the idea that no matter where you bring your club back, the way this is balanced will keep the club head square. So you're essentially minimizing this movement in your putting stroke. Now, LAB is the one that basically introduced this. They are responsible for the zero torque explosion we are seeing in the game. And again, you're gonna get a lot of people that say, well, if it's not a LAB, it's not actually lie angle balance, or it's not actually a zero torque putter. I don't know the technicalities of it, I don't know the specifics of it, and I don't care. All I know is that my last 3 rounds, I have been making more short to mid-range putts than I have in a very long time. And that's really the difference between being around 32 putts around versus 36 putts around. All of those like 5 to 7 footers that I might have missed in the past, I've been making more of them. Even with the LAB, where I'd been feeling more confident, it still wasn't necessarily always translating to made putts. And with the PXG over the last few rounds, it has been translating to made putts. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. Putters are personal. It matters what feels good to you. What gives you confidence when you are standing over the ball staring down a putt? And while I've always thought the LAB gave me that confidence, it's the PXG that has led to better lag putts and helping me make more putts in that like 3 to 8 foot range. And that's made a huge difference over the last month in my golf game. And it's actually true too. I just went into my putting statistics for my last 4 rounds using the PXG, and I've now got 0.6 strokes gained from 3 to 5 feet, and I've got 0.8 strokes gained from 25 to 39 feet. So you will see that across all ranges of putts, aside from maybe the really, really long ones, I'm gaining strokes with my putter. Where I feel like this illustrates things well, where it's the 3 to 5 footers and the 25 to 40 footers where I'm seeing the biggest gains. So there you go. I mean, if I'm being honest, I wish the results were reversed. It would be much easier to continue to go out here and spout off, LAB is amazing, continue that narrative, because to be clear, I do think it is, and I have had a great experience with this putter. And at some point, I will go back and use this putter some more to see if maybe I've just become a better putter over the last couple months. I don't know, but it would be a lot easier. I wouldn't have to deal with all the hate and all the people who are like, oh, you're just a shill, clearly you're sponsored, like LAB's the best, blah, blah. LAB's great. They are here for a reason. I love that. I love these clubs. But for me, currently, the PXG has been the better putter. And it's honestly, it's the most excited I've been about a club in the last couple years, because this is the one that has made the most dramatic difference in my game over the course of the last 5 rounds. Again, that's still a fairly small sample size, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. And the other one being the Callaway Elite driver. That's the first driver I have tested that has actually made a noticeable difference in my golf game, but we will do an update about my golf game soon, because things are finally, maybe, kind of starting to fall into place. And that's a good place to be. With that, my name's Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Breaking 80, where we talk about cool golf products and cool golf courses. If you got some value out of this, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. If you want to leave me an angry comment, or you've got your own feelings about either of these, I welcome a lovely discourse. Feel free to drop a comment. I would love to hear from you. If you're trying to figure out what to watch next, you can go watch my Mezz 1 video right here. These were my initial thoughts on that. And from there, I hope you have an excellent day, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.